Hi guys, it's Kai and welcome back. Today's video I'm extremely excited about because we're talking about hair growth, hair tips, hair health, and this is truly a topic that I've been struggling myself. Like, I've been stuck at a point where my hair wasn't growing at all, where my hair was extremely damaged. I naturally have really curly hair, and there was a point in my life where it only got curly at the root and then the rest was straight. That's how bad it is. So if there is a person who can talk about hair growth tips and how to get healthy hair, it is me. Trust me on that. One thing I can say is I understand if you're like frustrated, feel lonely, feel like nothing is ever working, because that's exactly how I felt when I was in this phase of having a really short damaged hair. I was watching all the tutorials, I bought all the fancy expensive products, but nothing ever worked until I changed these things. Okay, so the first tip that I have is heat. Obviously you shouldn't put heat on your hair, and we all know that, but I feel like most of us have never actually tried to go like a month without putting any kind of heat on our hair. Now, me personally, I've done this little experiment on myself, and I decided to go a month without putting any kind of heat on my hair. Just to give you a little idea, my hair is extremely curly and I never felt like curls were pretty enough, but we'll get into it in a second. But because I didn't want curls, and I also, told myself I'm not gonna put heat on my hair, the only option was to put my hair like in a slick back look, in a bun, in a clip, something like that. So, some days I was okay with having my hair out of my face, but then some days I did feel like I was missing out, like I wasn't dressed to my full potential, because I feel like hair is a part of your outfit if you truly think about it. I felt like there were for sure some days or like occasions during that month where I felt like my outfit, my look would be so much better if I did have my hair styled. And yeah, so it was very like up and down, some days I was okay, some days I was very unhappy, but I did tell myself that I would truly go a month without putting heat on my hair. Now, I did want to also go a little bit into the curls, because I feel like we as curly hair girlies, like, we are kind of conditioned to feel like we have to put heat on our hair so much more than girls with straight hair. Like, they definitely for sure style their hair sometimes, but it's not like every single day. And I feel like for us, again, girls with curly hair, it's just a little bit different. So I did want to speak to y'all, again, coming from somebody who has really curly hair. Thinking back, I literally remember, like, I have this memory of me being 4 years old in kindergarten and looking at all the girls, and all the popular girls, like, they had two things in common: one, straight hair, and two, really, really long hair. And if you do the math, curly hair shrinks, so it's not as, it doesn't look as long, even though my hair maybe was even longer than theirs. But I was never considered the pretty girl, and I remember literally in kindergarten, this was a thought of mine. And it is also interesting to think about, because obviously I was not on social media at 4 years old, right? So this came from kind of just me observing and seeing how people interact with them. And I think also one big thing for me was hearing all the compliments they got. Like, it was always, your hair is so pretty, your hair is so flowy, and then I'm there like, nobody ever told me that. So yeah, I know that's like, and then obviously it kind of sticks with you and stays with you throughout your whole life. Like, then in middle school, I literally remember just, again, observing and looking at like how many compliments the girls with long straight hair got, and it was a lot, right? And then my hair, people would compliment, but it was always like the adults or like older people, if that makes sense. Like, it was never kids my age. It was, yeah, it just felt different, and I just started noticing the difference in how I was being treated, and obviously it did not feel nice at all. And then this was actually like the hardest part for me, and that was high school. And the reason I'm mentioning it, because I'm sure there might be somebody who is in high school right now watching this. I want to say, like, I understand when you're in high school, you're hormonal, you're emotional, you definitely want to feel pretty and want to feel just, good about yourself. And for me, that was never the case. I never felt pretty, because I would come to high school and I had curly hair, and I literally remember being the only girl in my class who had curly hair. And maybe somebody else had curly hair but was straightening it, so I would never know. But I just remember again seeing all the girls and they had long hair, pretty hair, flowy hair, they could run their fingers through their hair, and I couldn't do that. So I did not feel good about myself, and that was the very first time I started taking a hair straightener and just like straightening my hair. And once I started, I couldn't stop. I would literally wake up at 5 a.m. every single day before school just to make sure my hair is straight. So, you know, one thing that I'll be forever grateful for is that my mom never let me straighten my hair before I was like 15 at all. It was only like special occasions, maybe on my birthday, maybe Christmas, maybe some event or like a dance competition because I used to dance. I still do think it's kind of sad if you think about it that every single time there was some special kind of event, I would come to my mom and beg her to straighten my hair. Like, why can't I feel pretty the way I am? Now, if you're in high school right now, let us know if things have changed, because I know that when I was in high school, and this was 2019, it wasn't popular to do any kind of hairstyles. Like, you wouldn't be a popular or considered a pretty girl if you wore a pony, if you wore a bun, if you wore a hair clip. Now, I know hair clips are now a little bit more popular than it was back then, but truly the only way back then to have your hair was down. And in order for me to do that, there was only two options. Either it's gonna be curly, or I'm gonna have to put heat on my hair. So, and I chose this option every single time. Oh man, did it damage my hair so much. So yes, if you're putting heat on your hair every single day, if you feel like that's the only way to style it, just know that things truly have changed. It is okay to go out in a bun. It is okay to go out in a clip. You can, I mean, obviously the best case scenario would be to just leave your hair curly as is, but if you don't feel pretty in that, then just try to do some protective hairstyles. Try to, like, you know, put your hair in a clip. Like, do not just put heat on your hair every single day. It does fry your hair. Also, if you've never seen the videos where they put heat protectant on their receipt and then they go over it with a straightener, those things don't work. Like, no heat protectant works 100%, right? It might work on like some splotchy places of your hair, but it doesn't work 100%. Your hair is still getting damaged. So if you're someone who thinks, oh yeah, I can straighten my hair every single day because I'm gonna put heat protectant on, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Now, another tip that I have, and this goes still hand in hand with heat, but it's showering. I feel like most of us have never really connected the dots, but truly the way you shower and wash your hair determines the health of your hair. Like, it's as easy as that. Now, I am someone who loves boiling hot showers. Like, I want to come out looking like Peppa Pig. I want my skin to burn. Maybe that's a little bit crazy. I never really realized, and I don't know why, but it never clicked in my brain that if I stop putting heat on my hair and I stop styling my hair, blow drying my hair, again, no curling, no straightening, but I'm still frying my hair in the shower, then how is my hair ever gonna get healthier? Like, you are on a path where you're making the steps to have healthy long hair, right? You're not putting heat on your hair, blah blah blah, but then you're also destroying it by frying your hair. So you're stuck in this cycle, and you'll be stuck in that forever, and you'll be wondering, why isn't my hair growing? Like, truly, you can buy all the best products, you can buy all the K18 brands and whatever else, Olaplex that's out there, but if you are still frying your hair in the shower, then your hair is not gonna look good. It's not gonna look healthy. It is gonna look very dry and damaged. So definitely think about whether you're doing this, and if you are, for sure change it. Now, I know for myself it was a very hard thing to change because I mean, I'm not gonna just start showering in cold-ish water. So what I started doing is I now wash my hair like above the bathtub, so I'm only washing my hair, not my body, because I mean, my body couldn't handle cold, but my hair can now. And I mean, I don't know if y'all can see, but my hair has definitely gotten longer, and like, it is just so healthy and shiny in real life. I don't know how it looks on camera, but like, my hair has never looked better, and I swear by this tip. Start washing your hair in warm-ish / a little bit coldish water, and that's when your hair will truly start getting healthier and look so much better. Now, for this another tip that I have, I need to go grab something. Hold on. Okay, this one I'm really excited to show you guys, because again, this is one of those things that I was doing and I wasn't aware of the fact that it was damaging my hair. Is drying your hair. The way you dry your hair matters just as much as the temperature of water that you're using on your hair, because if you're using a towel like this Like, can you see all of the texture on this towel? A towel like this with so much texture on it is literally one of the worst things for your hair. If you truly think about it, a texture like this, if you take the towel like this and dry your hair and do this friction motion on your hair, oh man, the amount of split ends, the amount of breakage that you're causing to your hair just because of a towel like this is absolutely insane. All you truly need, and this is like a cheap alternative, is just use a shirt. Like, I'm sure you have some oversized, comfy, soft shirt. That would be a million times better than a towel like this. Like, this towel is literally the worst thing you could do to your hair. And so it's been a long time since I used a towel like that for my hair, and my hair has gotten so much longer. I feel like my hair has grown at least like this much. So definitely either invest in like a really soft towel or just use a shirt. Both work exactly the same. Now, something that I personally did when my hair was extremely damaged and I had so many split ends, I started using K18. Now, K18 is a really good brand. It does work. It does what it says it does. It does connect your split ends back into one, so it literally chemically bonds the split end together, which is amazing, and it does work. I've tried it myself. But again, if you're using K18 but then using a textured towel like this, you're still damaging your hair. So again, you're still going to be stuck in that cycle. So you need to change both things. Use a soft towel, and if you do have currently a lot of split ends, instead of chopping it off, might as well just use K18. It does work, and it does make your hair really soft. And my last tip is water. I am somebody who forgets to drink. Like, for some reason, I am never thirsty. I never really think about water. I couldn't go all day without water, but I could have like 2 sips of water and call it a day. Like, it's never really on my mind. So I do struggle with it, and I do actively have to make myself drink water. And I was actually surprised how many girls told me that it was kind of like a similar situation for them. Obviously not as extreme as mine, but they did tell me, oh yeah, I forget to drink, I forget to eat. And like, you truly need to be getting all of your nutritions to be healthy. Like, you need to be healthy internally for you to have healthy hair. And so sometimes the issue might not even be with all the external things that you're doing, right? Like, maybe you're not putting heat on your hair, maybe blah blah blah, right? But sometimes it might be internal. Now, I was struggling with my hair being stuck at the same length for literally over 5 years. At that point, I was so desperate that I literally went and got a blood test done. I paid like a private clinic for like an excessive blood test, because usually like your general doctor doesn't test you for all the things. I wanted the full scope, I wanted the full thing, and it came back saying that I was healthy, but I wasn't eating enough meat. So I started eating meat now, and I try to drink as much water as possible. And so, just getting healthy internally as well as not damaging your hair externally is ultimately the goal to having long hair. Obviously, a big role plays genetics, but I definitely don't feel like I won the lottery with that. I mean, I definitely have really pretty curls, and I love all the women in my family with curly hair, but none of us really have extremely long hair. Some families, every single person has like hair to their butt, and it's like the most full, luscious hair. I mean, that's not my case, as you can see, but at least my hair is healthy, and it is soft and long. And I do have some layers though, so this is like the real length. So I mean, it is pretty long. I do kind of regret getting layers. This is unrelated to anything, but because I feel like usually the longest parts I have in the back, and so if it's like this, then I still kind of look like I have short hair. So if I could go back in time, I wouldn't cut no layers in my hair, but anyways, I know 100% if you follow all of these steps, your hair will get healthy quickly and long quickly. Trust me. When I changed all of these things, that is when my hair started growing. And so from like here to where it is right now, this took like a year and a half only. So if you think about it, the length that I got is crazy compared to the fact that my hair was stuck for 5 years on this. So what I'm saying, I mean, it does work. It does work, but it does take patience. And again, like I said before, if you change one thing but you keep damaging your hair with 5 other things, then like you're not really on a path to have long hair. All of these steps that I said they're not expensive. You don't need a lot of money for them. You don't need to buy any special products. The only product that I mentioned was K18, which is if you have so many split ends. It does work, and instead of chopping your hair off, might as well just try that. Again, if you want to keep the length, it does work, I gotta say. But all of the other tips, like, they again don't really cost a penny, so they are tips that you can do. It is just patience. And let me know if you tried all of these tips, if you're already doing them, or what helped you get long hair. Because even I personally am on a journey to have the longest hair possible, so if you have any tips and tricks for me that worked for you, please let me know in the comments. But that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
What it feel like?